Hey everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make a necklace and a pair of earrings today, and I'm going to use some of the beads that came in my most recent GGC's treasure bag. She put out two different colors this time. I got the amber and aqua bag. I'll put a link in the corner of this video and in the description box below to the video where I opened this bag and went over everything that came in it. I'll also put a link in the description box below to Gina's website. If you think you might want to get one of her bags in the future, it would be a good idea to go to her website and get on her email notification list. And that way she'll send you an email a couple of days before she's about to release her next bag, so that you can be ready and know that she's about to release it, because they sell out really, really quickly, because they're just always really beautiful. And it's such a great deal. You get so many beads and findings in one of her bags. So they just sell out just really, really quickly. So if you think you might want to get one, getting on her email notification list is a good thing to do, so you'll know when she's about to release her next bag. I'm going to be using these aqua and clear flat oval beads that came in the box, and these 6mm English cut aqua beads that came in the box. And I've got some little clear rondelles that came out of the strand of mixed rondelle beads. They were 6 by 5mm. This is just half of what I'm going to need for my necklace. I've already got half of it made. And then I'm using another one of these aqua flat ovals at the focal area, and this really pretty pendant. And I've got some 10mm gold links from my stash and some jump rings, 4mm jump rings. And in here I've got some more 4mm jump rings and one 8mm jump ring, and another one of the links from my stash, the gold 10mm links. I've got a ball head pin and one of the little white rondelles I'm going to hang off the extender chain as a dangle. The only chain I'm putting on it is an extender chain, because I've ended up, y'all know me, I've ended up making it so long that I don't think it needs any chain, so I'm just going to put a little piece of extender chain on it. And I've got an 8mm jump ring in there for my lobster to clasp onto. This is what I'm going to use for my earrings. I've already got one of my earrings made, but I'm going to use these aqua flat oval beads and some of the white rondelles and some of the 6mm English cut rondelles. And I've got a ball head pin and an eye pin. Of course, to make both of them, you'd have to have double this. I've already got, like I said, I've already got one of them made, and some ear wires. And I'm using my 22 gauge German style wire in gold. I've got some gold eye pins here. I'll have to look. I think these are 21 gauge. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. I'll put it in the description box below. I'm going to be using my chain nose pliers, my tweezer pliers, my round nose pliers, both pairs of my bent chain nose pliers, the cutters I use to cut head pins and craft wire and eye pins, the crumbing pliers I use to tuck in burrs when I cut off wire, and I've got my little New Orleans shot glass to put my wires in when I cut them off. I think that's everything. Like I said, I'll put links to everything I can find links for in the description box below that didn't come in the bag. So hold on, I'll get some of this out of the way and I'll be back. Okay, I've got my beads out here in my 22 gauge wire and the half of my necklace that I've already got made. And I'm going to make another strip just like this one. I've got my link here, not hardly in the center of my strand. From the link down, I'm going to be doing wire wrapped links. And from the link up, I'm going to be doing just simple loops, a little chain of simple loops. So I'm going to, and I've got these pieces of wire about 3 inches. I usually cut them about 3.5 inches, but I've been trying to do better about not wasting so much wire. So these are about 3 inches. I'm going to go down, and I always say I'm going down about 1.5 inches, and I decided to measure, because I always just look at it and do it, and I decided to measure, make sure I was telling y'all right, and really that's not even 1 inch. It looked like more than 1.5 inches to me, but it's really just about not hardly 1 inch. So I'm going to bend the wire over at a 90-degree angle, take my round nose pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Round nose pliers facing me, bend the wire back, until it hits the tool. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Take this part under until it hits the bottom of the tool. Kink the wire back until the loop is centered over the wire. And that usually stands my little wire almost straight up there, this one. I'm going to take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring this short piece of wire down. I'm going to wrap the short piece of wire around the long piece of wire about 3 times. Now I'm going to take my cutters, cut off my extra wire. And I'm going to start with one of my little blue English cut beads here. And put it on here if I can find the hole in it. I'm quite certain it has a hole in it. Okay, now, there we go. Now I'm going to take my pliers. I'm going to go to the very tip of the pliers. Bend the wire over at a 90-degree angle. Take my round nose pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Round nose pliers facing me. Bend the wire back until it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Take the wire up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Kink the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring this wire down. I'll take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. I'm going to make sure to get that first wrapping under the bottom of the loop and not over the top of the bottom of the loop like I have done many, many times. Now I'm going to take my cutters, cut off my extra wire. I use these crimping pliers, the little half circles on each end. I use that to get my burrs in when I cut them off, and I wait until I get the whole length made before I do this because I find it easier to do it if I have that bead to brace against. So now I'm just going to do another one. I'm going to do my next one in line, so I'm going to go down maybe about 1 inch, bend the wire over at a 90-degree angle, around those pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Round those pliers facing me, bend the wire back until it hits the tool, rotate the pliers till they're facing the table, take the short piece of wire up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool, kink the wire back until the loop is centered over the wire. I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to open my loop. I'm going to thread on this little dangle I've already made. I'm going to close my loop back. I'm going to take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring the wire down. Wrap the short piece of wire around the long piece of wire. About 3 times. I'm going to take my cutters and cut off my extra wire. If y'all hear that, it's raining real hard here. I hope my power doesn't go out. Okay, now I'm going to put one of my white oval beads on here because I want to match the side I've already made. Now I'm going to take my pliers, go to the tip of the pliers, bend the wire. I got too close to the tip that time. Bend the wire over at a 90-degree angle. Take my round nose pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Bend the wire back until it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Take this part under until it hits the bottom of the tool. Kink the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. My little piece of wire went that way that time. Now I'm going to bring this piece of wire down. Take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. Just wrap till there's no more room to wrap. Take my cutters, cut off my extra wire. And take my crimping pliers and tuck in my little burrs. So that's what I've got so far. So I'm going to keep doing that until I get all these done. Do another blue one, my blue oval bead, another blue English cut bead, my clear bead, and another blue English cut bead. And when I get all those done, I'll be back and I will do the top part up here with the simple loops. So I'll be back. Okay, I've got this bottom part here done now. And now I'm going to do this top part up here with the simple loops. So I've got an eye pin. I'm going to put on one of my aqua colored English cut beads. I'm going to take my pliers and go just a little bit above the bead so that I don't crack my bead. Bend the pin over at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to take my cutters and cut off and leave about 1/4 of an inch of the pin. I'm going to take my round nose pliers, go to the very end here, make sure there's nothing sticking out, and I like to go down here on the barrel and start my loop. It's easier for me. And then I go up here to the tip and finish the loop so that I don't have a huge loop. But it's just easier for me to get it started down lower on the barrel. And my loops are almost never facing the same way when I get done, so I have to take 2 pairs of pliers and twist them so that they're facing the same way. And if that loop that I just made is not good and closed, I just open it and close it again. So now I'm going to take this little piece of the eye pin that I cut off, because like I said, I'm trying to not be so wasteful. So I'm going to make an eye pin out of this. So I'm going to just go down a little bit there and bend over at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to cut off just a little bit here, leaving about 1/4 of an inch of the pin. I'm going to take my round nose pliers and make a loop just like I did before. I made a little eye pin out of that little piece of scrap that I had left. Now I'm going to open this loop and thread on this one that I've already made and close this loop back. Of course, you can make all these links and attach them together later if you want to. I just find it easier to do it as I go because it's kind of easier to get the loops opened and closed if there's not a bead on there. Now I'm going to take one of my clear beads and put it on here. Take my pliers, go a little bit above the bead, Bend the pin over at a 90-degree angle. Cut off and leave about 1/4 of an inch. I didn't go hardly enough above the bead that time. I didn't have it bent over as well as I should have. So I'm going to cut off and leave about 1/4 of an inch of the pin. I'm going to take my round nose pliers and roll back a loop just like I did before. Just keep rolling until it's good and closed. And that's not even that's not remotely facing the same way as the one down there on the bottom. I've got it all mangled. It's not just not facing the same way, it's got all bent. It's facing completely opposite. And I'll just do this one more time, then I'll do the last couple off camera. So I'm going to take my eye pin, open the eye of my eye pin, thread on, and open it some more. Thread on this part of the chain I've already got made. Close my eye pin back. I'm going to take one of my blue beads. Now I'm going to take my pliers, go a little bit above the bead. Bend over at a 90-degree angle. Cut off and leave about 1/4 of an inch of the pin. I'm going to take my round nose pliers and roll back a loop just like I did before. Well, that's let's see, those are facing pretty much the same way that time. So I'm going to do the last two off camera, and then when I come back we'll put it all together. So, well, we've got to build the focal part, so I'll be back. Okay, I got my little section of simple loops done here, and now I'm going to put this little link in the middle of here. And I know I could have wire wrapped. I'm putting it on with jump rings, with some little 4mm jump rings here. I know I could have wire wrapped that one directly to the loop, and I can attach this one to the loop, but I'm not real good at wire wrapping things to things. So I decided to just use a jump ring here, and then since I was going to have a jump ring here, I just wanted to have one on this side too. So take a 4mm jump ring. And open it up. Thread on my link. Thread on this bottom part of the side of my necklace. Close my jump ring back really well. I'm going to take another 4mm jump ring. Open it up. Thread on my little chain of simple loops and put my link on here. Close it back up. Make sure to get it closed really well. Sometimes you can hear it pop like that. So I've got both sides of my necklace done now. So now I'm going to get my stuff together and make the focal part, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to make the focal part now. So I've got one of my blue oval beads. And I'm just going to do this with a simple loop on an eye pin. So I'm just going to do like I did before. I'm going to go to the little bit above the bead, bend over to 90-degree angle, take my cutters and cut off, leaving about 1/4 of an inch of the pin. I'll take my round nose pliers and go to the end here and roll back a loop just like I've been doing. Just keep rolling until it gets closed. And see if my loops are facing the same way. They're pretty close, but they're not exactly facing the same way. Okay, now I'm going to take a 4mm jump ring, open it, attach my pendant, and this link that I just made. Close it back up. Make sure it gets closed really well. I'm going to take another jump ring. And again, I know I could have just attached that link directly to the pendant and to my link up here, but I just wanted to have a jump ring in there. And take the top of my link, attach it to this link, close it back up. So that's going to be my focal. So hold on, I'll get my findings and we'll put it all together. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to put this together now. So I've got a couple of 4mm jump rings. I'm just going to attach both sides of my necklace to my link here. I'm going to open my jump ring, put on one side of my necklace and my link. I'm going to take another 4mm jump ring. Open it up, put on the other side of my necklace. Close my jump ring back really well. That's what I've got now. So now I'm going to go down here. I'm going to take a 4mm jump ring. Open it up. I'm going to put my lobster clasp. This is one of the lobster clasps that was in the bag. There were some gold and some light gold. This is one of the light gold ones. Attach it to my necklace here. Now on this side I've got an 8mm jump ring for my lobster to clasp onto. Open it up. And I have a little piece of extender chain here. It's about 2 inches long. Close it back up. Make sure you get it closed up really well. So that's what I've got now. So now I'm going to make a little dangle with one of my clear rondelles here. I'm going to go down. I've got a little ball head pin here, and I'm going to go to the very tip of the pliers, bend over at a 90-degree angle, take my round nose pliers, put them in the crook of the bend, round nose pliers facing me, bend the wire back till it hits the tool, rotate the pliers so they're facing the table, take this part under until it hits the bottom of the tool, kink the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. I open my loop, thread on my extender chain, close my loop back, take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring this wire down, my other pair of bent chain nose pliers, and start to wrap. Wrap till there's no more room to wrap. I take my cutters, cut off my extra wire. Take my clipping pliers and tuck in a little burr. So, there's my necklace all done. So now I'm going to make a little pair of earrings to go with it. So hold on, I'll be back. Okay, so I'm going to make a little earring here now. I've got a ball head pin. I'm going to put my oval bead on here. Take my pliers, go to the tip of the pliers, bend the wire over at a 90-degree angle, around those pliers and put them in the crook of the bend, around those pliers facing me, bend the wire back until it hits the bead, rotate the pliers so they're facing the table, take this part under until it hits the bottom of the tool, kink the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. I bent chain those pliers and hold onto my loop, bring the wire down, my other pair of bent chain those pliers and start to wrap. Just wrap till there's no more room to wrap. Now I'm going to take my cutters, cut off my extra wire, take my crimping pliers, tuck in my little burr, I'm going to take my eye pin and open it up, thread on my little dangle, close my eye pin back, I'm going to take my clear bead and put it on here, take my pliers, go a little bit above the bead, I'm going to make a simple loop here, I'm going to go a little bit above the bead, bend over at a 90-degree angle. Take my cutters and cut off, leaving about 1/4 of an inch of the pin. Take them around those pliers. Make a loop like I've been doing. Straighten up my loops. They're not too bad off that time, but they were a little bit off. Now I'm going to take the rest of this eye pin that I had left, and I'm going to make an eye pin out of it. So I'm going to bend that over at a 90-degree angle. Cut off and leave about 1/4 of an inch of the pin. Around those pliers and roll back a loop like I've been doing. Well, not in frame. Now I'm going to open my loop that I just made and thread on the part of my earring that I've got made. Close my loop back. Now I'm going to put on my blue bead. Take my pliers, go a little bit above the bead. Bend over at a 90-degree angle. Cut off, leaving about 1/4 of an inch of the pin. Around those pliers and go to the end here and roll back a loop like I've been doing. Straighten my loops up. They're not too far off, but they are not exactly facing the same way. And this one down here doesn't look like it's closed as much as I would like for it to be. And now I'm going to take my ear wire and open it up. Thread on my earring. Close it back. So that's my little earring. And I already had one made here. So hold on, I'll see if I can get this all laid out. So I'll be back. Okay, there's my necklace and pair of earrings made with some of the beads and bindings from the latest GGC's treasure bag, or my latest one. I got the Amber and Aqua one. Like I said, her bags are always full of really beautiful beads and findings, and it's such a great value because you get so many and they're so beautiful. And like I said, I'll leave a link in the description box below to her website, so that if you want to get a bag the next time she releases one, you can get on her email notification list so you'll know when she's about to release one. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. I also sell gift cards and some extra beads and findings that I have. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope y'all have a great day. Take care.